Hi guys, my name is Maddie Poswang and my final project is titled Chicano Labor in Art. I use the book Chicano and Chicana Art Protest Art by Carlos Francisco Jackson. There's a section that is labor, and I use that entire section and most of the pictures in the section to fill out my project, and a couple outside resources to get statistics. So to start off, in 2018, there were 28.4 million immigrant laborers in the US. That didn't make up close to half, but that is still a prominent number compared to other job occupations. In this occupation, though, these immigrants are the most mistreated, underpaid, and underrepresented because they're scared and abused by the employers. Labor is a prominent theme in Chicano art because it conveys the idea that Chicanos, Mexican Americans, and immigrants are overworked, overused, and mistreated for a job that is in such high demand. We like to say, oh, just go get a job, it's easy, but it's really not that easy, especially a labor job. No one wants to do a labor job, and so no one does it. So immigrants, Mexican Americans, and Chicanos are the ones who go end up doing it, and they're the ones who are getting mistreated, misused, underpaid, all of it. They're just not getting treated fairly. And so Chicano artists took to the streets, took to the canvases, and had something to say about it. These issues are labor issues because they are laborers. So it is an issue in that area, which can be taken to court and can create unions. This is also a civil rights issue because they are not treated equally, and they are not given they do not have access to their civil rights, and all that stuff. These murals, portraits, and silk screens, all that fun stuff, also empowers the laborers to do something for themselves and find justice. A big theme in these murals, portraits, silk screens, all that fun stuff is the use of their leaders, which I will mention later. But to convey that this is a labor issue and civil rights issue, they use symbolism and metaphors a lot to get their point across. For starters, the most interesting one to me was this one right here. It says sun-mad raisins, kind of like the sun-made raisins, so they're making fun of it and using it as a metaphor. And it says unnaturally grown with insecticides, miticides, herbicides, and fungicides. Those are very hard words to say, and just pointing it out, healthcare in this industry is nothing. They don't get honored through their healthcare law, or it's little to none. And these men and women in the labor force are being endangered by these pesticides, and they're not being honored with healthcare. You can also see that the woman is a skeleton. That kind of shows that they are being worked to death, which they kind of are. Another portrait is the Viva la Raza. This flag is a UFW sanctioned flag, basically. It's red, black, and white with an eagle on it to represent bravery and to empower the workers. This man, Salvador Roberto Torres, added green to represent Chicanos and Mexicans as well. Moving on, Cesar Chavez and Luis Valdez created El Trito Campesino, where they did actos on the back of trucks to help empower the laborers and get them to unionize, basically. It did work out because they did empower them. For starters, this one right here, this one is titled How Petrosino Got So Fat. So basically you see, I'm assuming, a big white man that's fat, meaning he eats a lot, meaning he got money, sunglasses that look pretty expensive, a belt buckle, which is pretty expensive, and a hat, all being expensive, showing how much money he gets, but he's not willing to give any to the man he's eating in the sandwich, who looks sad and unhappy. This basically represents how they're being underpaid and unappreciated, and they're basically just taking all their livelihood and all that fun stuff. The next one is Cheap Labor by Hector Dio Mendoza, and it shows 2 arms in meat packages, and the labels on them are basically degrading and saying they're worth nothing. And so this is supposed to empower the laborers to fight for a right and to show that they're worth something. In World War I, the Uncle Sam poster was created to empower Americans to go fight for a country and show that they're American men. This idea kind of translated into the Chicano movement, where they used their leaders in portraits. The biggest one being Dolores Huerta. I'm so sorry if I pronounced that wrong. There is a mural created right there, and it basically shows Dolores around a bunch of Chicano symbols, and it's supposed to empower them and show them they have support. Someone is fighting for them, and they're not alone in this fight for labor equality and justice. Another one, this is my personal favorite, is just her, a super simple, gentle, kind picture of her with her name Dolores above it. I think this one's really cool because I personally take it as she's up there with all the white top dogs, and she has a portrait just like them. And this is supposed to show that laborers have support and that someone is fighting for them and they're not alone. So yeah, basically at the end, Chicano laborers are being mistreated, misused, and underpaid. Unfairnesses, injustices are occurring every day, and these portraits, murals, posters, all that is supposed to show that they're not alone in this fight. They have the power within them to fight for what they want, and they are being misused, mistreated, and underpaid. Thank you.